people them. Broken Generation. It's good to be black.
Back.
It's very good to be black. Black in effect.
I like that.
Black on sight.
Yeah.
Black in action. We're all the way black. Broken Generation. No long team. We're going to get straight back into it. I know it's been a while, but we don't need no introduction. Nothing's big's changed. We're just going to go straight into a topic.
Been an interesting week.
It has been.
Something came across my timeline.
Okay.
Very interesting. Came across a few people's timeline.
Yes.
Channel 4. Got a new show.
Yeah.
Channel 4 like pushing the buttons.
They do. Which I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
To be fair, we need, because BBC is very, except for like BBC 3, they try and do a little.
Oh yeah.
Now and then. But
Remember
really
when they
it's
did
very,
the EastEnders thing?
Oh yeah,
You
it's
ever
like
see that?
E3 or something. like E26.
Fatboy and them man.
Yeah, shout out to Fatboy. I remember him. Now, but Fatboy did a good job because he actually went on to the official.
Yeah. He bust true.
Boom. So they've got this thing called Naked Education coming out.
Okay.
Seen a few promos. Seen on the timeline, a few clips here, a few clips there. It's a bit of a madness, I would say.
Outrage.
A lot of outrage from a lot of people.
Outrage.
And to be fair, my initial reaction was outrage as well.
Okay.
But let's break it down. How would you summarize Naked Education?
So, like, initially I seen it. I said, yo, this is mad. What are they doing? Do you know what it took me back to, yeah? It took me back to a conversation we had where it was like, they're going to normalize pedophilia through, I forgot, TV. What's TV? What's it called? Through
media.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna normalize it. Somehow they need to normalize it. Yep. I said, this seems like them steps. Like, it seems like the steps that they go on. Little baby steps, little trickling.
Talk more,
but the way it looks like, they're happy to show children adult bodies. Don't be afraid of an adult body. This is what an adult body looks like.
Okay.
You know, obviously, when you look into it a bit more, then you understand there's meant to be an educational factor to it.
And to be fair, that's the plug.
Yeah.
That's how they get away with it. So again, we can get deeper on it if we need to.
Yeah,
but
we need to get
at
deeper on it.
At the moment, let me just say, like, the way that you can get in front of children is by saying it's educational.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And that's and if it doesn't raise an eyebrow when people come up and approach you, or not some people approach you, but those sort of things just make me look secondly again at the person that's like posing in the nude, posing naked. I just think it's a bit deep. So let's get into this conversation, then, brother. Let's get into this conversation. Because to be fair, it's a bit much.
It is.
So let me quote. Is it Metro? Let me quote with a Metro.
Oh, what? We're doing quotes of them things.
No. We're not officially quoting, but I'm just tipping my hat to the Metro who did like a on the online article to trans people.
Okay, yeah.
One, I believe, was a trans man, so a woman born genetically as a woman and is transing into a man.
Yeah.
And I believe the second person was the same.
Yeah. And
they were having a conversation. So one was young, one was older, talking about their transition, and then they showed each other their nakedness.
So what? These is adult and a child, or
one was an adult, and the other one looked like she was a child. He was a child, but I couldn't tell you. Okay. But we know that he came out as trans at 17. That's what the article said.
Okay.
And when they filmed the interview between the two of them, he or she just had 6 months of top surgery, so got rid of her breast.
So I think you have to be 18 to do any kind of operation. So
I don't know.
So that I've got no problem with. That
okay.
Obviously, if you actually go in there for that education side, and the thing is, maybe that conversation, not the nakedness, but the conversation maybe should have been had before they decided to go through with the transition.
That would be helpful, yeah.
You know, maybe, and there's obviously organizations, there's people around that do that if you're willing to reach out.
Yep.
For me, it's the nakedness.
What's your issue with the nakedness? Talk
to obviously at 17, 18, that's a bit different. You know, like most 17, 18-year-olds.
Can we be honest?
have seen bodies.
Can we be honest?
Let's be honest.
Because when I initially saw it, the clip I saw was of the young children.
Yeah.
The young children looking at these naked people. That was like 5 naked people in front of them.
Yeah.
And
Big grown.
My initial reaction was vomits, outrage, and anger.
So you was one of them outrage
and anger. That's why I was messaging like, yo, brother, what's going on here? This is madness.
Yeah.
But Tutu, just before, Danger showed me an article of a relook at that video. And I re-looked at the video, and underneath it said children from 14 to 16, I believe it was.
Yeah.
14 to 16. And then I thought, because they looked to me like they're youngsters, like they were like 9, 10, 11. But in reality, they were 14, 15, 16, some of them. And then I clocked back to when I was that age. And to be fair, I'm not saying I side with it, but to be fair, a lot of people lost their virginity around the age of 15, 16. And a lot of people had seen pornography and seen those sort of things at that age. So not to stick up for it necessarily, because ethically I don't know where I stand on it, but to actually try and educate young people in terms of sexual education, I think is very important.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just, to me, it's just outrage because there's a physical human person, adult, that's naked.
Do you know what? That's the thing. That's the thing.
If it was a video,
that's what I was going to say.
Things, it wouldn't outrage me as much.
But the thing is, I think if you need... So like you said, 14, 15, 16, most young people that age now are being exposed to bodies or to private parts in porn or on Instagram or that are looking
Twitter.
Perfect. You know what? They're looking perfect. You're looking at models. You're looking at people that are paid to do certain things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they're used to.
Yeah.
And it's even worse now than when we were younger.
Yeah.
You know, them ones, everyone's an influencer or this or that or OnlyFans or whatever. So I think putting a realistic, how a body looks realistically in front of you is going to be more impactful than, oh, here's a picture of 50. Well, they did the penis one, innit? You know what I mean? So they did like 50, they did like a survey of 50.
Yeah.
And they was like, this is the average size, blah, blah, blah. Like, you look at them things and you're like, nah, you're not even going to take anything seriously.
Yeah.
But I'm saying with them bodies in front of them, they could physically look. Rather than open a book or a picture or a video, they could look in front of them, but it's a bit more impactful, innit, than here's a leaflet.
But is it impactful in the right way? Because because what they're combating, and this is the way that they should have, in my opinion, or maybe they are, but haven't seen it come across it, is they should have sold it by the reason why we're doing this is to combat something.
Yeah, but they might.
It's not.
They might have done.
That's what I'm saying.
The thing, what we've seen,
because we've seen it like, oh right, naked people in front of kids. That's outrage. But in context, and if it's a response to something, it makes sense. If it's a response to, look how many children are watching pornography or doing sexual acts in schools, doing inappropriate things in that nature. Or maybe have psychosis, some kind of mental issues in terms of their self-image, their self-body.
And I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I think this is a self-image. I believe so. Obviously, I haven't looked too much into it. Like, when I first saw it, I said, this can't be what people are saying.
Yeah, man was angry.
You know what I thought? I can't, and I'm not, I'm a rational person. I don't act initially on emotion.
Yeah.
Like, I need to understand something to be like, nah, I don't agree with that. Yeah. So when I looked into it, I said, okay, I see where they're coming from. I just don't know if doing that on TV is the right idea.
Yeah. And I guess, again, the reason why they made it on TV is to hit more people.
Yeah, to have talk. Look at us talking about it now. We're talking about it.
So even though at the beginning I was angry, now I'm like, it makes sense in terms of if you're able to have the full conversation. If it's not just, hey, look at these willies, look at pussy.
But the kids are going to do that from the start.
Yeah. So, but then there's a conversation that's had after that. But the thing is, though, or it's surrounded by a conversation, then it's all good.
And words you constantly hear in education is exposure.
Yeah.
That's a word that you constantly hear. Mm-hmm. So whether it's exposure to language, exposure to numbers, exposure to literacy. Yeah. Is this exposure to private parts? I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, should it be normalized?
Like, as long as...
I don't know if it should be normalized. I don't feel like in secondary school, like, seeing someone's private parts, seeing a willy, seeing seeing breasts, I don't know if that should be normalized, because then maybe you carry that through to your adult life.
In the sense of what?
Like, it's just normal to you.
What? Seeing breasts?
Like just seeing, like, but just in public, or feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, are we promoting that people should feel comfortable in being able to, like, reveal themselves? Like, is this where it's going now?
Okay, now I hear you. So if I would say that there is a positive outcome that could come from this. And a positive outcome could be that our children, or children in general, are more comfortable and accepting of who they are, and therefore they're not running to
internally.
Internally, not to the point where they're comfortable in showing, because that's a separate thing.
So this is what, So
this is the thing. If they're like, okay, seeing this made me feel comfortable about myself, I don't need to chase after a imaginary image of what the perfect man should look like. I shouldn't have to chase after, okay, this is what I have to look like. Oh, I haven't got a six pack. Oh, I'm upset. Do you know what I mean? That's perfect. But if seeing it makes you say, "Wow, I want to take my clothes off," then it's the wrong response to what they're trying to do. If that makes sense.
This is what I'm saying. So can it be misinterpreted to be that? Like, see me, big man.
Go on, talk the thing.
Since I've been young, I wanted to go a nudie beach. Nudist beach. I want to go to flipping that place in Jamaica, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
What's the place called? What's the place in the grill? Funny side over there. Hedonism. Listen, I'm on all of that. Okay, I'm on all of that. Let's do
the energy switch when you just.
I'm on all. But I'm an adult, so I can make them choices.
Yeah.
You know them ones. Like I remember someone telling me a story about we used to go to Cornwall every year.
Oh yeah.
Blah blah. Someone told me the story. Every year we used to go Cornwall. Blah blah blah. A couple of hours like in the week, my dad would go missing. Like. We never really knew what he was on. Like, every year, he said, until we got older, we realised there's a nudist beach.
Yeah. So mum would go for a walk.
So he would just go off, strip off. Obviously, he wouldn't take the kids with him, but he would just go and do his little thing for a couple of hours. So obviously...
No body shame. Don't say little ting for a little while. That's not very nice.
I said he's doing his thing. However small or big that thing was, that's none of my business. But, we went and done his thing.
Yeah.
I said, okay, respect, daddy.
Respectable,
He didn't take the kids. He didn't expose them to it. He didn't let them know until, obviously, they got older.
Oh, he actually told them?
Yeah, obviously. Okay. Yeah, it's a conversation, isn't it?
Sick, okay.
And then I think it was a girl that told me. She was like, when I got to, like, 20s, like, early 20s, I was like, can I come? And, obviously, they both stayed clothed. But they walked through, just walked through. You know that was.
This man went missing for hours.
So hold tight you. If you told me that story, I can't remember who it was.
Powers.
But hold tight you. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but people bring children to nudist beaches.
Yeah. Because, and again, if you're like real young children, don't see sexuality, don't see sex in that regards. Do you know what I mean? If they're probably below 3, 4, 5, they're not looking at naked people and thinking anything of it necessarily. I don't believe.
Of course not. Of course not.
So there's some kind of understanding there. Anyway, to get to my point. Anyway, boom. All I want to say is,
sitting up.
In an appropriate context, that could be appropriate. In an appropriate context,
what the concept of the show we're talking about? Okay.
It can't be like nationalized in terms of, okay, this is the school curriculum.
Imagine anybody walking into our school.
No, but this is the thing. Like, I remember going to college at Gloucester.
Yeah.
I was like 16 and I did graphics and they did
Oh, you did a live drawing?
Live drawing, yeah.
See, I'm on that as well. I'm on that. I'll do the modelling.
You're on modelling, yeah?
Not right now. Come on, go. I don't want to take a bit to live up the thing.
This is why you need the show.
Why?
You got to be accepting of your body.
No, I am my body. But I'm saying if I'm gonna be drawn, I'd like to look a little better. You know what that was?
See, there's no better. There is only you.
No way. There is better. There is better. There's healthier. There's fitter. Visually. I may be as good as I can be, but fit wise, half wise, there's a lot better. So my BMI is critically obese. You know that one's big man. Critically obese.
So shout out to Anna. I think the host is called Anna. I think that's her name.
Okay, shout out Anna.
She's the one that does. There's all the other naked shows on Channel 4. What is it?
So what are you saying? Naked Attraction. You don't watch Naked Attraction?
I've watched it previously. That's not my thing forever.
No,
it's not something I chinwag. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because the bodies don't look good to me.
So, So, are you comfortable around nakedness? Are you comfortable around nakedness?
What, other people's nakedness?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think
so. Like, you know, like when you go gym and you got the older man them that just walk around. They don't care. Like, like they don't care. Like, you know, they've been going gym for 30, 40 years. They don't care, Bridget.
Not in that regard. Because when I go to the gym, I gotta get changed, shower and change.
Yeah.
I'm on a quick thing. I'm not on a long. Oh, let me put my bag down. Let me scratch my hair.
Yeah, and they're just there chatting.
Nah, man, I'm not having a conversation.
Shaving. See, man, just shaving.
What, shaving beard?
Yeah, shaving, just naked. So you're not comfortable with the...
It's not that I'm not comfortable. I just don't think it's appropriate. But I'm not... This is what I've said. I've never been ashamed of my nakedness. So if I'm naked, I'm in an environment where I'm supposed to be naked. It's calm, innit?
Okay. Yeah. No, okay. What kind of environment? You mean like a private environment? Like, not talking in someone's back garden bush.
No, like my back garden, isn't it? No, but like if it's like I'm not ashamed of my nakedness, but necessarily. Okay. But I don't want my nakedness out there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I'm not gonna
balls naked on road in some kind of
that's campaign. Illegal.
No, is that what's the
they do that. Yeah, they do
the bicycle rides or something.
Yeah, so you wouldn't do that naked run?
That's not my thing.
Would you do the mile naked run?
No. I can't slap myself in the face. That'd be a bit weird.
This guy. Yeah. We've not heard that. It's hard to have a serious conversation around nakedness, isn't it?
Because
I think for us, it's been humor.
Yeah.
Like growing up,
yeah.
Like
it's been humor. This is how you have a serious conversation by making it lighthearted. And
yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't really talk deep about. Do you know what I mean? Sex, nakedness in a serious manner. It just don't feel right. It just feels normal. It feels weird. Because I think like nakedness is supposed to be like a joyous occasion, maybe.
No, but weren't Adam and Eve naked?
Apparently so.
So them say.
Apparently so.
Okay. And they still got the tribes in Africa and them places there. Like even that, remember, like in school. Then they like sometimes we did some of that and we look at different.
Yeah.
And how we see titty on the book, we're like,
No, but this is the thing. This is the thing about us as the Western country, because we're so normalized. So because we're so what's the word? It's not so conditioned.
Yeah.
That even what's normal is unnormal to us.
Yeah.
Humans come out naked.
Yeah.
Like your nakedness is the most natural thing in the world, and yet we see it as not natural.
So I wonder when
because we turn it into some
the body
kind of
became sexualized. It would have been like Greeks and they did all like the Greek mythology and they did all like the sexualized stuff, innit?
Even in Britain, like when people were, I think it's Britain, or maybe you can say it's Greek, or in Europe, the Europeans, when like old white men, let's say not old white men, pristine white men or prestige, whatever you call them, people who are affluent used to get stone statues of themselves.
Yeah.
Used to say, "Oh, make my penis as small as possible."
Yeah.
Because
statue of David, and that
exactly.
That's the big,
Exactly. So we've always to some extent sexualized the human body. I know why you're laughing, bro. We've always sexualized the human body, but at one point it was the smallest penis was the best thing, because if you had a big penis, it meant that you were an animal, you were a beast.
Yeah, because they went Africa and they said, nah, turn that, let's go back. Listen, you are uneducated. That man said all of their brains are right there. Yeah, all of our brains are up here. That's what happened.
This is why we can't have serious conversation.
They can't happen. Look at the history books, Reggie. Listen, no word of a lie, yeah? No word of a lie.
Yo, go on,
read on the history books, yeah? Where the brother describes the first encounter with the Africans.
Okay.
And he describes skin as black as the night, hair as rough as wool.
Okay.
Penis as long as a log or something like that. Big man, I swear down, there's like a thing where they describe his first encounter and describes the people that were standing before him. And that is how he did, like a poet or a writer. That's the description he give. So when he's going back now and they're described as animals, like you said, he's going to want to go back and say, listen, we're nothing like them. Look at our...
Yeah.
That was a long way around the little conversation, literally.
Oh, bruv, I've never been able, there's never been an appropriate time to say this. But since we're talking about nakedness,
okay, I'm gonna sit my
talk about nakedness. You know, man, I used to be a Bible guy, yeah?
You did,
I used to read the Bible all the time, bruv. And there's a book here. Oh, right. Have I got it here?
Yo, you haven't even got the
Bro,
promo.
I have, bro.
Oh, you have?
So I wrote a book called A Time to Laugh.
Hold that up properly, man. Let the people...
Boom. I wrote a book called A Time to Laugh, yeah? And it's basically just a breakdown of the funniest things in the Bible, things in the Bible that I think are funny.
Okay.
There's this, because we're talking about nakedness, yeah? This one scripture, it's never been appropriate for me to say it, but it just makes sense to say it now.
Just get involved. Get involved.
There's a scripture, oh, mate, don't let me get it wrong. Okay, Ezekiel 23, verse 20.
Because people are going to check this, you know.
Yeah. So this is so funny. It sounds so random, but to me, it's so hilarious. This might just dead the whole episode. I don't know, but let me just talk about it. So the Bible talks about two women, yeah. Mm-hmm. Two women and what they used to lust after, and it says they used to lust after men whose penises were the size of a horse's. Yeah,
and it says it's in the Bible.
In the Bible, Exodus 23, verse 20. Yeah, but reading context is funny. And he says, so their penis is the size like that of horses, and their emission is like the wild bees. So it's like their semen. So it's like
no, this is going left.
I read this when I was a
Left.
kid. It was so funny. And it's just basically saying about the Bible how these two women, they're sisters, and they just love big dicks with loads of semen.
Left.
So no.
We're start getting on the Y movement.
Because you talk.
Why?
But I say that because even in scripture, there's a book in the Bible called Song of Songs or Song of Solomon, and it's basically a story about a love relationship between a man and a woman.
Okay.
And it talks about deep kind of sexual things that they were doing and this, that, and the other.
What, in the Bible?
In the Bible, Songs of Solomon, just before the Book of Psalms. And a lot of people don't realize how sexualized, I say sexualized, how much sex is so normal in the early years of the early earth. But because we are so compartmentalized in terms of our thinking, sex or nakedness should only be attached to sex. And so if you see a woman breastfeeding, you're like you may think it's sexualized, and you'll be like, put that away.
Yeah. Well, it's a massive thing, and that's been a massive thing for years.
So we compartmentalize things that are so normal. Like sex is so normal that it shouldn't be a taboo. Yeah. Like even, do you know what I mean? So even naked bodies is so normal, but we make it such a taboo thing, or we make it such a disgusting thing when it's a beautiful thing in its normal sense.
So big man, you 360'd the whole thing.
Yeah, I did have 360.
You 360'd.
I do that quite often.
So we started off with saying it's disgusting. They should not. Pedophilia should not show children. You just ended saying it's such a beautiful.
No, but that's the thing. I even got myself whooped. Like my whole brain, I was thinking so European, Western, 21st century. What is going on in the world? When at our natural core, nakedness is just nakedness.
And when we talk about it, actually, like you just said, in Africa, in the tribes, to this day, they're walking around naked. Yeah. Or maybe covering little bits. Yeah. That's it. Men, we're talking grown, I don't know, 40-year-old men are walking around with 3-year-old, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old daughters hand in hand. And their things are swinging. You know what I mean? Like, that, and to them, that is nothing but normal. There's no sexualized, it's not sexualized in any way, shape, or form. That's just what they do.
And in those countries, they don't need to have their sex education around, this is what the normal human body looks like. Because you see normal bodies everywhere.
Everywhere.
And everyone accepts what they look like. And because we in the West are so unaccepting of who we are at our core, we hide ourselves, we hide our nakedness, we live behind masks and things of that nature, that we always have to hide things.
So maybe this conversation is where this show's come from.
So there's only one thing I don't like about the show. It's got a lot of, and I say this respectfully, it's got a lot of trans elements to it.
Okay.
Or maybe that's just what the promo's saying. But to me, I just think the trans thing is a bit different, because it's not about your natural body. It's about your changed body. Yeah. And if you want to change your body, this is what the body you could look like.
So do you think...
And I don't like that.
Do you think maybe if they solely did a show around trans, it wouldn't get as much attention, because some people would turn, like yourself, you said you would turn off. It wouldn't be something that appeals to you, so you wouldn't watch it. Whereas if they mix it with a little bit of shock value, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I don't know what else they're going to talk about in there. They might talk about different shapes, sizes. Like they'll probably talk, which is all going to be, people are going to want to people are probably gonna want to hear that because they're like, "What is
People
this
are gonna want
about?"
to hear that. Let me just. I keep crossing different. I keep crossing the road.
That's how a conversation go. We're not here trying to sound nothing.
But no, but this is what I'm thinking.
Broken generation.
So
baby.
I just realized. You know what I realized? 98% of rat poison is good food.
What? Elaborate.
Listen to this. In rat poison, a lot of rat poisons, not all rat poisons, because it's quite different. Some of them have potato in it. Some of them have vegetables in it. Yeah.
Okay.
And those things are attractive to rats.
Oh,
so
yeah,
rats
yeah,
smell
yeah,
it
yeah.
and they eat it because it's something nice. Sex education and naked education.
Yeah.
98% of it, to me, is okay. Okay, you're saying it to young, mature, but they're grown, 14 to 16-year-olds. You're showing them naked bodies. You're showing them a man and a woman, what they're supposed to look like naturally. Yeah, that makes sense. Trans, to some extent, that might be the poison, fam.
Okay.
Because hidden beneath all of that, because at the moment it's like, okay, it's not really pedophilia, is it? Okay, but it's not really pedophilia. Maybe that's the poison. Maybe it's, do you know what I mean? It's
I see where you're coming from.
It's selling you a story, and on the surface, if you look on a wider length, when you look at it, I'm like, okay, so it is. I mean, most children are watching porn, and they're not really. That's not what reality is like. So maybe there's some self-body issues, blah blah blah. Maybe this could be the cure, but really, if you look at the cure, right, they got some trans things. That's not a natural thing. Wait, they've got. But he is a grown man looking at, and she is 14. What is he looking at? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's not the other way around, though, is it?
It's not the other way. I don't think it is. No.
No, they can't do that.
It's not,
they can't. If they do that's
it's not the other way
that's
around.
gone clear, bro.
It's not the other way around.
Yeah,
But
now it's time for the adults to look at the children.
Let's take a seat. Let's take a seat.
Yeah,
No.
nice switch.
But again, this is the thing. This is why I think these conversations are important, because what is really going on? Because it could be layered. On the surface, it may be layered. Look, sex education, body positive. Okay, everyone's got changes. Okay, this is good.
The thing is, it has to be
It might
layered.
be a little bit deep.
Everything's layered.
That's a fact.
Like, this show's probably gone through 6-7 pilots. It's probably gone through producers,
Lawyers.
writers. Like, it's layered. Like, there's an undercurrent that they're trying to push that they wasn't able to push. So in order to push it, they need to put all of these protective layers on top.
Yeah.
That's
maybe
all shows.
this is the first round. What's the reaction from the crowd? What's the audience? What is the audience saying? What is Britain saying? Okay, they're not ready for.
Yeah, they're not ready for that yet.
They're not ready for naked education 2.0.
Yeah. So
let's put this one out.
Yeah, we'll scale back and we'll come back with something different.
Yeah, they seem to be getting it okay. Okay, oh, that's a good
Drip feeding,
good
isn't it? It's drip feeding.
Let's give them what they want is education. Naked education 4.0. That's what they really want to give us.
Yeah, but
they can't give us that. They got to give us this
drip feeder. Big man, before we're done, around the same thing. Did you see that video of the drag queens in America and they were doing for the kids, and people went off?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
Like what? Quickly, I
can't really talk because I haven't really seen it. But what I do say is,
that's exposing them at a young age. That's what people were saying.
So again, the thing I would say is to that is there is a hell of a lot more worse things going on. Someone in makeup and wearing drag isn't sexualized unless you sexualize it. It may make people more feminine, or maybe make boys think, oh, it's okay to be more feminine, but it's not saying, oh yeah, let's take pipe. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I say that with all humor and laughter, but also
that with chest.
I say that with all humor and laughter, but I'm not a fan of it.
Okay.
To me, I'm like, I'm not a fan of that. But whatever, innit? It's not the same as some of the madnesses that's happening.
Okay, there's a lot more in the world.
I know,
but it's layered. Like we say, it's all
layered.
It's all layered, bro.
It does. On the bottom line, the prophet Andrew Tate would say, he would say, it leads to the feminization of men, and masculinity, and boys. So in that regards, I am against it. Free Tate. Oh, he's free now.
Quick as that. Broken Gen. We're black.